It's straight ahead.
Yep, okay, I'll call the meeting to order at 5:04. Approval of July 22nd minutes. By
Yep.
consensus?
I have no adjustments.
Neither. Okay. Community input.
Julia was here first.
Yeah, okay. Oh, we have community up there too.
Yeah.
I want it? Okay, why don't you go?
Okay, thank you. My name is Julia Roberts. I'm the board chair for the Association for Rollinsford Culture and History. And we had submitted a proposal that we would like to conduct a historical tour of the auditorium at Town Hall, led by Peter Michaud, who I know is a well-known town historian. And I got the impression that there were some concerns about the safety of the space.
You want to talk about that?
I don't have concerns about like
It is on.
the floor collapsing. I have more concerns about people being in the balcony area, like the floor is sloped. I've been up there myself, and I wouldn't feel comfortable having 25 people in the balcony.
I don't think we necessarily have to have people in the balcony.
Okay.
I think if they're on the floor of the auditorium, they can certainly see what's up there.
Right.
I think there's any need to bring people up there, if that's a concern. We're certainly happy to agree that we won't take anybody in the balcony.
Okay.
How are you getting into the town hall?
Well, obviously, you coordinate with the powers that be at Town Hall to, someone to be there, like Kate, unlock the door for us, and all this stuff, and then lock it afterwards.
And what are the dates that you're?
We had originally hoped to have it sometime this month, but I think time is drawing a little short here for us to be able to publicize it. Potentially August 17th, I can get information out right away. If
Okay.
not, we'd be postponing it until September, either September 8th or the 21st.
I'm fine with.
Do you have any other questions?
No.
No? Okay, so do we want to just say that,
Um,
consensus vote that we're
Yeah.
okay with it? Okay, consensus vote saying that we're okay with using it.
Thank you.
And
Thank you very much.
just be careful, that's all. Anything else for us?
Well, if anyone here has not been to see our current exhibit, it's about town history. It's called Mill and Farm, 2 pages of the New England community, New England town. And it's looking at the industrial and agricultural heritage of Rollinsford.
Oh, cool.
It was up last summer, but it's open this year through the middle of October and on Sundays. Some really interesting town documents in there that came to light when we were going through private collections and things. So,
Yeah.
we would encourage you to come visit, and it's free to town residents during the month of August.
Sounds great.
So should I work with Kate to coordinate whatever the best date is?
That's probably best, and if you have trouble with access, let me know. You have my email address. And, you know, if you have trouble with getting in, let me know. We'll make sure we can work that out.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
I was just, somebody asked me to pass on, do you know anything about the Ham Road and the bridge goes over the road? Do you have any documentation on that?
I don't know.
Okay, historical doesn't, no.
Not my area of expertise.
Okay. And can I just ask her a personal question? Sure. Okay. REF sponsoring rec to go to your place for it, and I'm paying the bill, so is there any, REF, I'm the treasurer. Is there any way that you can send me something so I can send you a check right away?
Do you need before or after? Or do you just want a letter?
I can't write the check without an invoice.
That's fine.
So if you want to send it to my town email, I will make sure that you get it as soon as I get it, okay? All right, I just want to make sure, okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Carmen, what's that?
Is there any other community input?
Oh, sorry, was there any other community input? No? Okay.
Sorry.
Please, any activity for you?
Purchase orders. We're looking to purchase 13 of these tourniquet holders, one for each member of the staff. Right now, the ones that we have, the tourniquet is actually an expandable one, it's a larger plastic. Those expire in about 2 months, so we're looking to place these for everybody. This way here, they just carry ready to go, and if it's ever needed for another officer themselves or member of the public, the officer has it right in his belt, easy within reach.
What is that again?
It's a tourniquet.
Oh, just
A
up
tourniquet
here?
kit.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I purchased order number 1695 to the 1110 LLC company for 13 cases and 13 tourniquets for a grand total of $836.29, and that will come out of the equipment line item. And we currently have over $4,400 left in it.
Great. I'll move purchase order 1695 to 1110 LLC for $836.29 for tourniquet equipment.
I'll second it. Any discussion?
Did these ones expire, or is that?
No, these are
That's those.
permanent.
Okay.
The problem with the other ones are the elastic kind, the
Yeah.
elastic goes
Right.
after a while, so.
Okay.
All set?
Yep.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Good. Okay.
Okay, we are looking to add 2 additional tasers to our stockpile. One of them will be issued to the new officer who's starting the academy in 3 weeks, and the other one will go to the available for the part-time display. For the last couple of years, we've been replacing or adding to the inventory 2 per year. And what we're going to do this year, we're actually going to buy refurbished ones from a company out of Florida. They're guaranteed for a year, whereas if you buy the original ones, they're guaranteed and warranty for a year as well. So for half the price, we're going to get 2, and we'll experiment with it for the year, and maybe in the future we'll continue to use this company out of Florida. So I purchased order number 1694 to the accredited security company, Florida, for 2 tasers with the power mags, the holsters, and the cartridge for $1,198. Again, that will come out of the equipment.
All right, I'll move purchase order 1694 to accredited security for $1,198 for 2 refurbished tasers.
Second it. Any discussion?
Nope.
No? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I met with the folks at Townsend, and the service contract, are preventative. We have 1 checkup per year on their contract. Apparently there's a breakdown in communications for a number of years, whether we were supposed to call them, or they were supposed to notify us. I do know that when they come to do my furnace in the fall, they send me a postcard around September saying, by the way, but anyway, so they apologize if they dropped the ball on their end. Secondly, whatever you have for outstanding invoices as far as the service contract coming up, don't pay them. They're going to give us a 3-year preventative maintenance, which will also still include the 15% off for the parts and whatnot. They will be here within 2 weeks to do a full evaluation and checkup on all the equipment, and also to look at the HVAC that we have responsibility and come up with some type of plan as to how we can prevent that in the future. So once that all information is taken care of, they've done their inspection and gone through the units, I'll present something to the folks. And I know you're looking to get the preliminary, the first copy of the budget for next week. Has there been any discussion amongst the select board when it comes to raises, cost of living versus merit? Where's it going to come from? time that I have, I'm just trying to get the date when the select board decided that they would no longer pay for my social security.
I have to go back. and
Before
look.
us.
For
No,
sure.
it was within the last 3 or 4 months.
It was within the last 3 or 4
Oh,
months.
well, that was
It
because you're, wait a minute. Wasn't it because we weren't supposed to?
It was because we determined that with the auditor, that we found out that retirees are not subject to it. So,
Oh, but you can still get social security, right?
so he had been paying into it because he was set up that way.
I don't remember making that decision.
We were told
I think
about
the
it. There
decision
there
was
a
more
couple
that
of-
we're not now, and then if
Yeah.
you want to, like, you know, reverse that maybe, like, there was, so the conversation was whether or not to go back in time and make any kind of adjustment about back in time. I don't believe the auditor made a recommendation about that, and then, just because that was the way it was more of a notification that we found out it wasn't allowed, and then the board could decide to, but you did, I think, come and request that you
Why-
wanted to continue.
Right, when I spoke with the folks at Social Security, they
Mhm.
said that it's not required, obviously, but you can pay into the system if you want,
Mhm.
so.
Because you're eligible to get social security where some people aren't, right? Because they didn't have it taken out.
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay,
Correct.
so before before you became a police officer, you must have been a quarters, and that's what you're,
But somewhere along the line, I'm not sure it was the state of New Hampshire or the Social Security folks have deemed that if you collect a pension
yeah,
when you retire, Social Security will cut up to 40% of the Social Security benefits.
yeah,
And that's fairly recent from what I understand, so.
yeah.
They've come together with some agreement with the state of New Hampshire to do that, and I don't know why, but my concern is that, you know, in a few years that I have like here,
Mhm.
I'm hoping that the town would still pay into Social Security for me, and I would contribute as well, so that when it does come time, when I do collect that 40% reduction will be a little bit less than what it would be when not paying into the system.
Yeah,
I would suggest that the board actually have a conversation about that and make a specific decision, because I don't think it was a decision. I think it was more of this is what we found out, and this is what the auditor's recommendation was.
and so that's why we pursued doing it.
Right, and then.
Okay, so I don't think it was an official vote on our
No.
side. Okay. Okay.
But I know it has stopped. so.
Yeah, yeah. So we acted on the auditor's recommendation, but we didn't make a decision on it as a board, so. Let's put it on the next agenda to,
Yeah.
look and make a final, is he the only one that's affected by this? Because the other police officers are not eligible for social security, correct?
Correct, unless they work a part-time job someplace else. But
Right,
yeah,
right,
as far
right,
as
but,
Law
yeah,
enforcement, full-time law enforcement, correct.
okay. Okay, so let's just put on the agenda and make sure we know all the rules, and then we'll get back to you on that vote.
Okay, thank you. That's all that I have for you folks, anything for me?
I'm curious what came out of the traffic safety or highway safety meeting. Or actually, I don't, Denise can probably do it. If anything came,
The first issue that we had was Ann Railroad, and North Coast walking lanes, so we're dealing with that. There was an issue about Front Street and Main Street. Gentleman down there who lives right around the corner was hoping to have a three-way stop sign there because the car's coming around the corner. As he's trying to pull into his driveway, back out of his driveway, cars are flying out the hill. We deemed that was really a state issue, really not a local issue other than law enforcement. As far as Bear Road is concerned, we decided at this point that I'm not sure that adding more signage was going to help the crowd, other than maybe giving us something more law enforcement.
did, I don't know if the speed limit on Sligo came up, if that was on the agenda.
We
It's not
talked
posted.
about briefly, I actually did find an old ordinance that all streets in town are 30 miles an hour with the exception of Bear Road, which is listed 35.
Right.
In order to reduce a speed limit from a state posted zone that's urban or rural or business, the town would have to do a traffic and engineering study, which means you have to hire someone to come in, look at the roadway, accidents that you've had, the width of the roadway, the number of houses, commercial buildings, all that. Without that having a study done, the town does not have the authority to lower the speed limit from whatever the state has already established the speed limit to be. So generally, all roads in town are 30 miles an hour with the exception of just 35.
Which would be fine if they went 35.
Correct.
That is correct.
And, you know, and I know you live out there, but we have complaints about speeding on every single road.
Yeah.
I can tell
Oh,
you,
no.
even Locust Street and Prospect Street, we get calls about people speeding. And it's just society, I think part of the society, they got lazy at the last minute, they wanted to get there 10 minutes ago.
Yep.
Unfortunately, so.
Yeah, and I certainly know you can't be everywhere at once. It's kind of crazy. That's why I don't leave my house anymore. That's a kind of,
But
Mike Gillis.
certainly, you know, after November 1st, once the guys at the academies were returning with us, you'll start seeing 2 cars out there, specifically, you know, late afternoon and evening,
Yeah.
a little more in town, so that's gonna be a big help, you know, finally we get the full staff and we get some folks out there and do a little more traffic as opposed to just running off the call to call.
he's out of the academy in the next couple of weeks.
August 23rd, I think it is. Yeah.
And he's expected to make it through.
Oh, yeah, we have no problem, he's doing very well.
Good, good. Mike Gillis is the chair. He's left as chair. We talked about flaggers, there was concern about, when they were paving Heritage, that their flaggers were not visible enough. And maybe we should have the police in that area because they were staging the trucks, like,
Right,
they were
right.
taking the whole road, so we need to think about that going forward. George was there and he heard the conversation. Also, they talked about striping and, for the highway, and, it's not in the budget. We didn't take it out, so I'm sure will be in this year's budget, but it was not taken out by, as long as I know, it's never been taken out by the select board or the budget committee. So it just got missed or whatever, so I'm sure, because there's some issues, with the striping that Bob wants to do, some, and he's worked out something with George already on open rounds, yes? The white lines?
That's
Right,
for the-
yeah, George said.
Yeah, he said he'll be able to do that by the light, so.
What do long lines cost?
Well,
George,
George, we spoke about that just a few minutes ago, and he has some information to present to you, so I'll let him do that.
Good, so that was,
Okay.
that's the only other notes that I got on there. Mike Gillis. That's all I have on notes, I guess.
great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
See you 6:30.
Yes. All right, fire's not here, highway?
Good evening.
Good evening.
George.
We're talking about all lines.
We were talking about lines, yes. Long, I don't know, long or short or whatever, but we
Well,
were
like
talking about
down
that.
the middle.
Yeah.
of the line.
10 cents a foot for WO, about $1,848 in all the streets that we have, we've been marking down. It's not crazy.
But it's not budgeted either, so we have to make sure that we have,
Now,
and
you
that's
gotta
not something
remember-
that they can't do in the winter. Okay.
You've got to remember, we have 3.5 mile road.
Yeah, that is ours.
There is no company gonna come to Rollinsford to paint 3.5 miles of road unless they're doing somebody else over.
Yeah, okay.
So I talked to Berwick, Berwick's having his done in September.
Mhm.
Same company is willing to come here at 10 cents a mile. Other companies are higher and they don't want to come around for a little bit of,
Are they a local company?
at all mass.
Really? That's, nobody does, what's
There
that line company on Dover?
Cass.
Yeah.
It's all parking lots.
Oh, parking lots,
I mean,
okay.
it takes a long time to push that machine up the road.
Oh, she doesn't, okay, I didn't know what she did, I just see them.
Yeah, that's
the
all.
truck all the time,
I mean,
okay.
parking lots and stuff like that.
All right.
when would we need to make a decision?
I have a PO because it's gonna be sometime early September, early mid-September.
We, no, why don't we move the PO, and then we can check. Do you,
Well, okay,
um,
let's,
just-
are you gonna, in your hand?
I have it if you want. Okay, it's 4-year guidelines out of Athol, Mass. For I put up the $2,000 because he said it's, right, I told him roughly 3.5 months. Cover
Okay.
the cost. That-
So I'll move purchase order 1665 to Poirier Guidelines for up to $2,000.
All right, I'll second it.
So we have money left over in the paving budget.
Yeah.
Is that
Um,
something that we can use?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And
But we're not done yet.
I did a budget line items next year. Keep that in so we can try to
Yes.
keep it together.
Yep.
so this will do every single road that we have a line on.
Ones that we have
And
yellow.
town
But it
road.
doesn't need to be done every year, is it? Or,
Well,
oh. Okay.
May skip a year occasionally, but you know,
Like,
again,
like the line on Bear Road that was done, that was paved 3 years ago?
and it's
It's not
it's been pretty well faded last
Yeah.
year, you know, I mean, they don't last long. And that, the more traffic, the more they're gonna get worn out. Of course, when you're plowing, you're scraping paint off.
mhm.
So there's other plans for that?
Well, like, there's no, we're not done with the project for the roads yet, right?
But it's just gravel, we have to do the gravel.
Okay, so I know we have approximately, what, 25 left over?
It'll be well over that.
Well over
so
that,
far.
okay,
Well,
and,
George hasn't presented, I think he has some other small areas he wants to take care of,
So
so out of that line.
I need to know before we vote on
Right.
spending something else, what are those other projects and what do you estimate the costs?
I roughly estimated the swale on Church Street. It's about 10 pound hot top and 70 some odd over time, plus a little bit of gravel, so probably less than $2,000 to do that swale. So, and that's something that we ought to start thinking about doing that.
All right, what about the one in Cricket Lane?
And just basically, we're not gonna do the swale this year.
We're not doing this, okay,
We're just gonna clean it out and see how it,
what happens with that, okay.
So there should be an associated cost to that.
Now, where did you say the first one was?
Church
Church
Is
Street.
that over by the, what the old Redmond Club was?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, not
Actually,
Redmond Club.
actually, it's from Franklin.
Sportsman Club,
Actually, it should be done from I measured from Franklin Street down to past that property.
okay,
Because all the water runs, there's no place for the water to go, so we're just gonna divert the water down the edge of the road and keep it out of all the properties. It's not just them that's getting water, they're the ones that are complaining the longest.
okay, all right. And is there anywhere else in town that you were projecting to do?
Not for that kind of stuff.
No, okay, so there should be more than enough money to do this.
The only other thing we may be doing is that culvert, big culvert down by the farm on, we're gonna dig that up to see, because the road's collapsing more on,
Branmore, down by
Yes.
Branmore?
Oh,
so
Okay,
that stuff. If we can get the other pipe out of there, that opens that culvert back up, and we can
Mhm.
take care of paving that, so it's not gonna be a lot of paving there.
okay. All right, so if we have enough money and we can use that money to do this project, then
yeah.
so,
I just, I feel like it's something
I think the
Sure.
roads
Mhm.
need that. Keep our side out.
Yep.
Safe.
so let's make sure that it stays in the budget going forward.
Yeah.
And I think it just was an oversight, nobody caught it, so we'll just make sure we can maintain that. All right, I call a vote, all those in favor say aye?
I,
Aye.
Stormwater requires a second sweeping of the downtown.
Say that again? What did you say?
The stormwater committee, or stormwater, at a stormwater meeting,
Yeah?
we found out that they require a second sweeping of the down, wherever there's curbing,
You mean street sweeping?
street sweeping in town,
Oh, okay.
and that was not in the budget either, that's.
But it can come out of the stormwater
Stormwater,
budget,
okay.
so there is money for it. Hopefully, we're not gonna have to do it twice every year. The hope is that we can show that we're not collecting very much material and document that. and that will relieve us from the requirement to do it every single year, but for now, we need to budget for, at least for next year to do
I was
once a
gonna say,
year.
yeah, we should at least do it for, next year's budget, just to be on the safe side. How
Yeah.
much is it?
Up to $2,500, but you've got a
For
smaller.
one street?
Well, so to do that, what I was gonna say is to do the full, up through, what you usually do, which is, I think up past Vicaris, you can say more than I can about where you go.
Where the curbing is, the only place that requires a second sweeping is where there's curb line
Yeah.
for the water that pulls down along the curb, and of course it's dragging dirt and everything, it's staying on the road. So that would be basically the downtown section.
The very downtown, so it's,
You're doing about half of what you normally would sweep.
But you got drainage going down Main Street, don't you, that has curbs?
that's all
State.
state.
Are they gonna have to do that, because that affects us in stormwater?
Theoretically, they should be doing that, yes,
Twice.
yes.
Will they?
And we don't know if they do it twice.
Do they know that they're supposed to?
We
They
don't-
have their own, yes, they have their own MS4 permit, so I'm sure they're aware of all the things that they're supposed to do.
Okay, so, I know it's not our responsibility, however, it is our responsibility to make sure that our stormwater drains are not having things in there that they shouldn't, right?
Well, right, and this is where it gets complicated, because we're not supposed to do work on state roads, but their catch basins are, we have transfer into our catch basins before they go out into the river. So it might behoove us to go,
When he's sweeping, he doesn't pick up when he goes out one street and down the side of the road, he does it to stay.
I know, I'm just saying, we need to make sure that we plan ahead, that make sure that we get the proper okay by the state that we're gonna do this, or whatever we have to do, because it's going to affect us as a town with stormwater, even though it's a state road.
yes.
So I'm just saying. we
So you
should-
might just notify them, unless you're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. And I hope they can give you.
He's here by the hour, he's gonna be driving, it's a little bit of time it takes to drive down that.
Well, right, so it's worth paying for, but we should still give District 6 the courtesy of letting them know that we're.
That's what she's saying, that we have to, because of stormwater, have it done twice, then you might want to think about that for next year, and,
I
but,
don't think, I contract with them, and I know they have some of their own sweeping, but
yeah,
a lot of places I go by, it's a subcontract. Go up, so.
all right,
I put up to 1,500, I don't think it's gonna be that,
okay.
that should show them services out of it.
All right, so I'll move purchase order 1629 to Showem Services for up to $1,500 for downtown sweeping.
I'll second it. Any discussion?
So how did we find out we needed to do this, and how did we miss it?
That's all Stormwater Coalition information. They were reminding us at the last meeting that it is still a requirement, and it starts this year, our first year requirement.
Okay. All right, so just,
And I did up each sweeping budget for that, so.
okay, all right. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I know I talked about using the, and I have used the Village Authority space machine, but they want it back, and they're really using it, and don't know how long they're gonna have it for. It is in the budget for, to buy our own paint machine. It quotes from, Franklin Paint, Athol, Mass, and from Sherwin-Williams, they sell the machines around here. Sherwin-Williams' price was about $500 higher than Franklin Paint. The machine was $4,400. This Franklin Paint will sell us the same machine for $3,985. And it suggests spare parts kit, which would be screens and stuff, separate the paint, is another $81. So PO for the machine and the spare equipment is $4,066.95. They will come and train us with the machine and, et cetera, and there's a warranty on it, so there's a service contract that we get from Graco, the company that makes the machine, for the first year's service, $77, we're getting a gift card for that, so. And a set of, extra set of, sweet tips for the spray guns.
So I'll move purchase order 1664 to Franklin Paint for $4,066.95 for a line striper and spare parts kit.
Okay, I'll second it. Questions?
So the one that we were using from the housing authority,
It's the same machine.
we thought that we would be able to keep it?
No, it
We
was,
were just
we
on
were
long
using
term.
it, you know, we had it since last summer,
Oh, okay.
because they weren't using it much, and now they're gonna start doing their stuff, and they don't know when they're gonna be finishing their stuff up. Again, that would be an every year,
Yep.
and when we put, I did put in the budget for the week.
And what was the amount that you put in the budget?
4,000.
Yeah, $4,000.
Just 4,080?
Well, it's in the equipment fund.
It's in the, but wasn't it a special warrant?
No.
It was just in
No,
a,
it's
okay,
part of his
okay,
equipment.
okay.
Yeah, it went up a little bit since last year, it was.
So knowing that you weren't gonna buy this, did you still have that money in the budget?
Oh, yeah, we don't-
Okay,
I
All
haven't
right.
bought any equipment.
okay, all right. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye?
Aye.
I don't know what you want to do with these cuts. I want to cancel the Sherwin-Williams deal. The paint, because they're $10 if I get a bill higher than Franklin paint.
We don't have to
I think we
cancel
can
it.
just void it.
Okay.
If it's lower,
If
then
you
it's,
can- If you have it there, I'll just take it and void it here.
okay,
I know you look for PO sometimes at the end, so I want to make sure. We have record of it.
Yeah, very good. Okay, fine, I'll take that out.
so if it's lower, we don't have to revote on it.
No.
All right.
Right.
Have we done that in the minutes before?
Yeah, sure.
The Sherwin-Williams.
If it was approved, it would have been,
Yeah, that was
So,
quite a
do you
while.
want?
if you want to note it, you can note it. It's 1625 for $1,500,
Up to that.
up to.
That was, we had 1,500 in the painting, not knowing how much paint's gonna take, so.
Mhm.
Franklin paint, I'm gonna order 10 buckets of paint, which should take care of, not sure how much it's gonna take, because we gotta do everything, it hasn't been done for quite a while. So I get 10 buckets of white, one of yellow, and one of blue for the handicap spots. We don't need the, we have all the templates made up, so we should be all set with that. That's, I put up to 1,500 in case we need to get more, but the total right now is up to 870, so I don't believe it's gonna be more. We got a couple, we got a can of yellow references. And that's through Franklin Paint also.
Yeah, but we already approved this, right?
You approved it.
For sure.
For sure.
Sherwin-Williams.
So do we have to approve the
Well, it's a
difference?
different PO.
Well, so a purchase order is specific to a vendor, so
Oh,
that's why
okay.
we are
All right.
avoiding that one.
Okay, you're just gonna void it, okay. Go ahead.
So I'll move purchase order 1627 to Franklin Paint. So you want it up to 15, even though this order is.
And I'm thinking we're gonna be close
Okay,
on that.
for up to $1,500.
All right.
Can you just write 1,500 if you would?
It's up here and I'll write it down.
Yeah, okay.
I'll second it. Any further discussion?
Nope.
And this is just street roads, or is
That's
this like
all the
more
parking-
parking
That's all our parking
areas?
lines, our handicap spaces, the line he wanted down on Oak Street to
Yep.
separate the lanes, we can do that with that paint machine.
Okay,
And if we decide we want to do a paint sidewalk on Heritage that we talked about,
oh, those, like a bike path
Bike
or a
paths.
walk path, okay.
that can be done.
So,
That's-
okay, so it's only parking lots and like down front on Main Street in front of those
You
businesses?
go into water and
Town
stuff.
hall.
Yeah, all the business, the railroad crossings, all that to be redone. all the stop lines should have, all the stop signs should have a stop line.
Yep, okay,
So that's all part of that.
okay, all right.
And, we don't have any lanes that are separated, but the arrows that are in the one-way section,
Yeah,
all that part of it.
okay.
And we can also do arrows at the transfer station to control the traffic.
And you have enough to do that, because I know that you had an issue with the transfer station, with fast and going wrong directions. Yeah, okay.
Try to make sure that everybody goes around.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Speed limit signs for the slide, which should be, well, you know, which is something like that, so they were the day.
I didn't see that.
Nobody posted the 30.
We're gonna post it 30, so I want those speed limit signs for each end and each side of Village Line, so they have no excuse to see it when they come up,
Yep.
go in either direction.
Yep. Okay,
Great.
great.
We'll get them up as soon as we get them, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Do you want to defer welfare to the end of the,
Yeah,
okay. Fire's still not here?
he's not coming,
He's
there
not
are
coming.
purchase orders for him in the folder.
This one?
No, those are,
This one?
yeah. They're all the purchase orders are together at the bottom of that file, not that one, but right above that. No, you were in the right file, just at the bottom of that file. Are a bunch of,
This,
yeah, there's a set. All right. I have them here.
what, fire?
Yeah, I did that. That's what, I said that and then I realized I'm over there.
Okay. So we have three purchase orders. I'll move purchase order 1658 to Triworks Leather Company for $734 for department helmet shields to be NFPA compliant.
Second it? Any discussion?
So it looks like they're getting. Oh, chief
Chief
assistant.
assistant and deputy.
Nope.
Okay. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Next up, I'll move purchase order 1657 to McKesson for $416.89 for AED batteries and pads. Yep.
I'll second it. Any discussion? It looks like they're getting 2 batteries and 2 electrodes for the heart start, and the batteries is for the defibrillator.
I'm assuming the current ones are.
They're this fire.
Or the, oh, the other, yeah, yeah. All right. Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye. lastly, I award purchase order 1656 to Fire Tech and Safety of New England for $311.85 for repair and recalibration of the CO meters.
Okay, I'll second that. Could you, 1656 together?
1656, 38, 385, 11.
1185. All right. Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, it's to repair and recalculate the CO detectors, meters. Alright, so, where are we, fire's on, that's all on fire, okay. So now we're at, administration, space needs committee, appointing new members.
So you have 3 or 4, and then you have 3 members
We have
out of
3
the 4
members.
you're looking for.
Right,
I have
one.
a lead on a 4.
Okay, because one of them, yeah, changed. We did
Right.
have 4, okay.
So I didn't know if you wanted to do that tonight. If you did that tonight, appointed the 3, then you can appoint the 4th at the next meeting, but at least get the committee moving.
Yeah, we do need to get moving, so, it is, Charlotte George,
Ron Thomas.
Ron Thomas, and the guy down on the Joe Dash. All 3, so far that have stepped up. So I'll make a motion that we, appoint those 3 to the Space Needs Committee.
Second
All
that.
right, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed. That's yours now too, right? Any updates?
Yes, Mr. Fortier is back. He had been away on vacation. He stopped in the other day for an update. He believes we can buy a new cover for the boiler, and that will take care of the insurance company's concerns about the boiler. I would imagine we can just buy a part and have Townsend do that. Other than that, he just, he's scaling back on what he thinks he can offer. I think he's feeling just overall overwhelmed. He did say that he would get us a report of how to maintain everything we need to maintain and sort of a list of things to do. But he still is reiterating that to get some kind of facilities assessment, really to get what you need, you're gonna pay to get some kind of facilities assessment. So he has a recommendation about that. He has a firm or a person in mind for that. It's not necessarily the $30,000 warrant article. That would be, an engineering study, which is not necessarily a bad idea. But doesn't necessarily have to happen at the same time. It's all about how much information, how quickly, for how much money. But the building, having the building assessment will tell you that you do or don't have asbestos and some other sort of straightaway things about the building. So he's hoping to get that to me soon, but, time is getting away from us and he's busy and he's got his hands full with school
opening,
and getting
yeah.
school ready
Yeah.
to open anytime comes, so.
But the other study that we had done, what was it, who was it? Benwell, they didn't say anything about asbestos. I mean,
No.
it would have been there
No.
then. I mean, if it
Well,
was there.
Right, but that wasn't really within the scope of their charge. They were
Okay.
really there to comment on if we were to make this building what we would want it to be, renovated again, move rooms around and do another renovation and bring everything up to where we want it to be and spend the money all at once. What would that layout look like? And what would the associated cost be? And then there's some other notes about the building too, but it was really more about how do we get from what we have as a building now to what would we we want for a really great, like, very well-functioning administrative building. So, to renovate it fully at one time. So it does have some things in there, but it doesn't have, they didn't do an asbestos study. Maybe they should have. I don't think they even noted that. They're not noting anything about ADA or some other things like that. It wasn't really that kind of an assessment.
Okay. Okay, I just hate going around and doing the same
Yeah,
things
right.
over and over again. when
Right.
it should have been properly determined back then, you know, I mean, asbestos is one of the things that everyone worries about. When you're doing,
Well, and
you
that
know.
one, you know, is not a lot of money to test for.
Mhm.
So you can at least, I think we can easily afford to test for it in this budget, you know, in the current year we're in. And that way we at least have determination, know that we're working on it if, you know, we're doing work in a certain room or it's outside of the scope of something that, you know, we immediately need to deal with, you know. So, I do have a lead also on another paint vendor who deals with lead paint. So I'm hoping to get another quote for portico, not for its structural issues, but for the painting. I would still, I think it still makes more sense to deal with, you know, he's just a painter, so he can't deal with whatever's structurally going on there.
Why would we paint it before we had it structurally fixed?
I'm not suggesting that you do,
Oh,
it's just
oh.
a quote,
Oh,
so that you
okay.
know that when you get there, what it's gonna cost.
Okay, all right. Is lead paint inside the building?
Say again?
Is lead paint inside the building as well?
To my knowledge, it's never been tested, and so I believe that ought to happen too, so that we know how to deal with it.
Because, I mean, weren't all of those, like where you are, all of those rooms repainted when the renovation happened, and that's,
Yes,
But
and
that's-
so that is one way to handle it, is to fully encapsulate it. The other is to remove it. And so you could go one way or the other with it, but recall that the foyer of the building has peeling paint.
mm-hmm,
We don't know what that is.
mm-hmm,
And so that's, you know, more than one layer.
mm-hmm. That's true.
Those, like those holes that are that green, it wasn't stripped to the studs. You might not know that. No?
I mean, it was.
My guess is
I
they
mean, they're
probably
not like
put sheet
forced
metal
or
on top of
plaster.
whatever was there.
I would
Best case scenario, yeah.
Clearly, we know that wasn't done
Well, and the woodwork
as it
is
should have
original.
been.
If nothing else, the woodwork around the windows is original.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of work to do to find out what we don't know.
Yeah.
And to even assess, to even assess all the categories of things that we need to be looking into. So, I would, you know, that's part of the committee's charge, and I think one of the things to talk to them about how best to go forward to, assess what we need to know.
Okay. All right, police consultant?
The contract, I don't know if you two have had a chance to review it, if you're ready to sign it, or want to look over it again, it is in your folder there.
I'm just feeling like, so we got these pieces that fit together somehow, right? So the town hall is a structure. I'm just not sure like where to. So the police consultant will tell us a size that we would need, right? So it's of a structure.
They will be able to comment on things including and outside of the structure.
Right. There, do they have too many vehicles or not
Yeah,
enough vehicles?
staffing
Do they have too many
vehicles.
staff, not
Given-
enough staff? You know,
Officer patrolman ratio,
Oh, right.
and
so it's not just building.
how bad would it be to make do in the space they're in, and, you know, what size building to be up to code for the size police force. So really what they're starting with is our data about number of calls,
Yep.
time of day, day of the week, and duration, and nature of the call.
Yep.
And then, for our population, and then taking that data to determine, what we need for a facility, if anything. They may in fact recommend that it's, you know, that you can renovate and stay where you are, and this specific thing would be the hardship with that, and then you could evaluate whether or not that hardship would be, you know, worthwhile or not. But if the recommendation is to build a new building, they're looking at the development pressure within the region to determine with the amount of open space that Rollinsford has, the potential development that could happen in Rollinsford, what would be the appropriate size of police station to be, fitting the needs of their community for the next 15 years. So that if you're building it, it's the right thing, you know,
Right.
for the life of the building.
And I do think it's an important piece of information. We probably should move forward with it.
I just don't trust them because it took so long to get back to us.
Well,
I'm just a little concerned.
I think it comes down to they're small. And, you know, in a case such as this, it's a contract for money. So in a worst case scenario, you don't get the information or you don't get it in a timely manner, but they're not getting the money either. So you're not really out anything except for potentially time.
Yeah, they're just delaying
Yeah.
our process.
Yeah.
You know, that's all. It just took them for so long to get back to us.
Totally
I
agree.
mean, I'm uncomfortable with it. Is it in here?
It is in there, but it's all Eversource you're going through now. That.
I know
So
that
the
you
public
said-
safety strategist group thing, the company.
I know you said this before, but do we have, if we sign this tonight, projected start date or?
They can start pretty immediately, like within the next 2 weeks
Okay.
or so, like pretty immediately. And isn't it the way the world goes, but they were asking me, like they were following up on, have you signed it yet? So I think,
Oh,
you know,
really?
they sort of marked out the time in their calendar to work on it
So the budget is for 7,500, right?
for the scope that it says that we talked about. But, you know,
So you gotta give them 2,500 to begin the study. And the sum of 2,500 after the on-site review, and the sum of 2,500 after the formal presentation, or 30 days after submission of the final report, whichever is first.
All right, I move that we, I guess authorize Caroline to sign.
no,
No.
It's in your name.
it is in my name?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. Okay, so you can authorize me to sign it.
Sign the contract with professionals. Sorry, where's the name of the company? The Public Safety Strategies Group, to do a consulting contract for the police department.
I second it.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm getting a change.
Okay, so all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Is it 6:30 or 6?
It's 6:30.
Eversource proposal.
Right there on your left. So there are, you're holding it on your left there. There are 4 contracts there, one for each of the facilities.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the other thing.
Sullivan?
We should talk about
The PSNH settlement,
The
sure.
PSNH
If you
first
run
would
out
be
of time,
good, yeah,
that's the more
'cause this
important
is-
thing. Okay,
yeah.
so this avatar yellow letter is what speaks to that, and then
Yeah.
I've been forwarding you emails.
Yeah.
You have.
So I know we kind of was a question about who's paying who, right? Did you get that resolved? With the settlement,
Oh,
you were,
no.
you were, it sounds to me like we're gonna get that, not them, not us paying them.
That's why,
Yeah, me too.
so we might have to pay them $19,000?
And that's not, that's,
So the reason I think that it's probably a payment is because abatements are typically filed because people are finding their value to be higher than they think it's worth. And so, why, you know, so PSNH filed this abatement because they felt as though their values were too high, and it's been held up in court because,
but did they pay us? No,
so they paid their property taxes.
in full?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that's the way the process works. If you don't pay your property taxes, then you get liens and interest and all that, like anybody else does. So as with any other abatement, we always advise that you pay your taxes so you can
Mhm.
avoid the interest and everything else. But then you file an abatement, and an abatement is the legal process for disputing the value of your property. So let me also say that, by the way, the $19,000 doesn't come out of the budget.
Right.
It's overlay.
Say more.
So, it's not part of, if you ever noticed in our budget, that there's not a line for abatement and overlay. There's a difference between, accounting and budgeting. And abatement money comes out of something called overlay, which is basically, it's an auditor, it's one of the auditor's functions. You do kind of put some money aside for it and kind of estimate it, which would be higher on years immediately following revaluations, because that's the time at which people are more likely to file abatements. But I don't, it would come out of the general fund. I don't want you to think as though you're affording it out of the budget.
Here it says if PSNH were to win 2017 appeal at net book value, your refund would be $26,000. So why do you think he's not paying?
Okay, so then.
This is his letter.
Okay, so then that's because of whatever happened, in process with negotiations. And this is why it's still held up, still in the court, because PSNH is not agreeing with the value, they're not settling. But the towns aren't either. And so they got the values, so the values are still, I guess, have gone up rather than down.
But they're also referencing this HB 700. Have you read that? I printed it, the HB 700.
Not in full.
And I have printed it, but I didn't have a chance to read. But it's about this. So,
Yes, it is.
So this says 26,000 plus interest. This
So
email
it's using the
from the
HB
second
the
Says
719.
says 19,000.
Yeah.
He's
This
making
one.
it sound like he's like, no.
Well, now he's saying because of the HB 700 assessment, your refund would be equivalent to 7,500.
Okay.
Again, I didn't have a chance to read it. I
So
just
I'm not
printed
sure
it.
why, honestly, I don't understand why the value keeps changing.
Yeah.
Except to say, maybe it has something to do with ongoing negotiations, that's what would make sense to me.
Right.
Mhm.
I don't know.
But then on the other hand, if we don't accept this, he's making legal costs to be 15,000.
Well, yes, so you have to attach yourself to the other two towns that are, he wants you to use the other attorney that is representing the other two
Yeah.
Avatar towns. Which would kind of make sense because Avatar, the consistent Avatar values. But because we've passed filing periods, you're gonna have more than your share, more than everybody else's share of legal expenses, because there'll be late fees and, more work to do filing after the fact.
A lot of out of our hands kind of thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think we should just take the 19,000.
I hope that's what it is. because that's
I
what
hope that's what it is, right, because we won't know the final amount until,
It's all done, all said and done, right?
Yeah,
but I don't think we should roll the dice.
well, that's
Because we
the
might
other
spend
thing.
15,000 and get zero.
Right, that's where you're at, is you don't know how it's gonna end.
So, we were with Chad Robert and Gary Robert, we were getting a letter from Gary, which is kind of like not matching what Chad was looking to do. So did he not know that you can no longer be part of, or,
We fell through the cracks, and if you saw in Gary's email, he's acknowledging that we fell through the cracks because he thought we were part of the, group represented by one of the other law firms. Why they didn't check that and know that,
well,
I'm.
that concerns me, because they're working on our behalf, right? And so, it concerns me that we fell through the cracks, and they didn't know this. So is Gary, he is, who is he, Chad's
Chad's
father?
father.
Oh, okay, so he owns the business.
Yes.
That's why we didn't get, Chad didn't
Right.
send us like Gary, okay, so.
Well, and because Gary is the one that has always maintained, utility assessments, he just handles that. So it's what, he's kind of semi-retired, but he does the utility
Side
assessments
of it,
still.
yeah.
So he does say, ignore prior communications.
That's not prior, that's the most recent, isn't it?
This one's.
Well, no, it's the email is the most recent.
Yes. Okay, so not this. Okay. What now? This is April.
No, the one that
This is
just,
April.
it was Friday afternoon.
Oh. Okay.
Urge you and the board to seriously consider and accept this offer immediately. So what do they get? What does Avatar get? So, are they getting a piece of this?
That's a really good question.
I'm just, you know, the urgency.
I think they have, well, so
Everything's shut
Yeah.
down, where we're not
No, I
gonna have
get it.
anything.
the urgency is that we are not part of any
Yeah.
represented suit.
However,
Yeah.
it's in the
So-
next few days.
Otherwise, Avatar doesn't have any vested interest except they have an unrepresented town, which probably causes an issue for them.
So, he needs to know within the next few days if the town wishes to go to a hearing, the attorney needs to give the motions. And all that will begin to cost the town.
Because it will have to have a attorney.
Yeah.
So it will be probably far over what our settlement is.
Well, and you're gonna have to continue to pay attention to the conversation. So
Yeah.
you know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, there's that.
Take,
I think we should settle as well. I just,
No.
well, but I also think we need to bring them on notice that they should have done this way sooner. Or they are working on our behalf. We should at least find out why we weren't notified and diplomatically just ask a question. You know what, I mean, I just think that this could have been caught long ago.
Right.
And the only
It's
reason
not
why it got
emergency.
caught is because we challenged him to do this, right?
Well, because he was just gonna do it.
He was just gonna do it, so we
I
said
said,
to
hold
you,
it.
hold it, yeah, and then all of a sudden, all of this is coming out, it's like, now everything's shut down, now you can't do it, and this and that, whatever.
So I think they were really trying to, Chad was trying to brush under the rug,
Yeah, yeah,
hurry up and settle, because that's
Yeah.
what you do when you are otherwise up against late filing fees and stuff.
yeah.
And so then Dad kind of
Yeah.
opened the door and let us really see what's going on.
Okay, so, is there something we have to sign, or just,
No, I think it's enough if you would make a motion to,
settle for the, what's
settle
the
the abatement,
19th?
the 2017 abatement with
19 with no interest.
so I'll make a motion that we settle the 2017 appeal, is that who,
abatement, yeah.
abatement appeal, with PSIH.
For a refund
For a
of
refund
19,000, right?
of up to, I would say,
Yeah, up to, yeah, because it could change. Okay, I'll second that, just get that in. Wasn't hearing.
I think so. Settle the 2017 abatement appeal with PSNH and refund up to $18,000.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'll second that. Any further discussion? Okay, so all those in favor say aye?
I,
Aye. Okay, so you'll notify them tomorrow?
Yes, I will
Okay.
notify them tomorrow. Since we're running short on time, I was hoping we could go into welfare before.
do we have any other non-public personnel?
We can go into personnel if there's time and you would want to do that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do we have
And
a
then
personnel
if you
one?
would, and then you all are going to recess the meeting until, or are you going to end the meeting?
What do we have that has to be done and? is
There's
there-
nothing else that has to be done except, well, yes, I would do the transfer station.
I move we grant
Yeah.
the exception to,
Oh, let's talk, yeah.
Joe
She's not here,
Marshall.
right?
She's not here.
for
Okay.
the transfer station to sticker.
I'll second that. All those in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye. Did you
Okay,
get that?
Okay, no, grant exception to who?
To grant, to Geraldine Harshly, to her daughter, so that her daughter can take her trash for her.
PARS.
Yes.
I think it's P-H, Hershey?
PARSHLY.
It's close.
Okay, and then the other one is, did you see an email from Mark Kuchar about, there are there's a family who bought a bunch of
Oh,
cemetery
yes, I
lots.
did see that, yeah.
And they want to essentially sell back half of them to the town,
They're not able to be used for burial, right?
I guess.
Yeah,
It sounds
in the
like they're
back.
overgrown.
Yeah, yeah.
So that email is turned into a letter form for you to sign in your file if you want to do that. Yeah, I think it's on the left. And that's a building permit if you would sign that letter too. That one.
This one?
Yep.
Okay, so the board of selectmen, we sold 4 grave lots in Newtown Cemetery. Do you want to read the whole thing?
I've read
Did you read it? Okay, so what they're saying is that I told them that we could talk to the town for refund. The town would have to refund the $1,050 and the other $1,050 would come from the trust set on that lot. So they're gonna rewrite the paperwork showing ownership of only 6 graves instead of 12, because the other 6 are not functionable.
Does Mark agree with this?
Yes, he wrote that
Yes,
letter.
he's the one that kind of tried to get a
Resolution.
So
resolution
they're
of it for us.
Useless. Or I mean, they'll just be like,
It's just gonna be open, it's just gonna be open, exposed land that's not gonna have graves in it.
okay. That's
All
only
right.
fair.
Okay, so, you wanna make a motion to accept Mark's?
Sure. I'll make a motion to accept the recommendation from the cemetery, the chairman of the cemetery trustees to refund, is it 2,100? We're on the hook for $1,050.
Town would have to refund $1,050.
Yeah.
And I don't know that. What's the name?
Except from the top, Lon and Angie.
Lon and Ann.
I'll let you have,
Yeah.
this will go into record anyways, right? We have a copy of it.
That's my tip.
Yeah. Okay, so, all those in favor say aye?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Everyone will come make a copy and give them the records, okay, perfect.
Yes. thank you.
Is Rabbit Stone, transfer station stone.
Did you want me to put that in there?
No, that's not recent, so
Yeah, that's, back in July.
it was an email.
All right.
So I think we should probably suspend this meeting and then pick it up if that
So,
meeting doesn't go.
Welfare is the only essential, I mean, everything else, it's great to continue and that's
Oh, okay.
fine.
Then let's-
Welfare.
Do you wanna-
So
Do you want to go into non-public for welfare and do that right now? We've still got 15 minutes, right?
I think we can do it quickly if
Okay,
you're willing.
let's do
And then
that.
if you want to reconvene the next time, then great, and that way there's no pressure to reconvene if
Yeah,
it's
okay.
not a good time.
All right, make a motion that we go into non-public.
I'll second it.
Roll call, Miles?
Yes.
Denise, yes. We're now in non-public, and cameras off, please. For welfare, I'm sorry, for welfare, we're on.
You coming back after this? Recession?
Maybe.